Hi, this is Renee Michelle. Welcome to Spiritual Awareness. My new series here on YouTube. Today we are talking about verbal abuse, right? And how that affects the spirit and how it stops you from emotional growth, okay? And spiritual growth and spiritual healing and self-worth and self-esteem, most importantly. Uh, Verbal abuse. I'm using only the major arcana cards so we can have like a clearer description from the God, the divine, the angels, the spirit guides, all of that good stuff. You know what I mean? That positive energy that I ask to come forth to help me relay this message to you so that we can help heal ourselves and our soul and move on to better, and happier lives. It's got to happen, people. Verbal abuse. So the primary, the reason for the block is self growth and what's going on with you, and why? This is abuse. Why you feel okay with doing this? The abuser, okay, with verbally abusing others, right? Because you feel like you're the master, like you're the man, like like I got it all under control. I got this all handled. The magician card. He has everything he needs to do what he needs to do. Manipulative and abusive, and verbally abusive, using your words to demean and hurt others, and happily, with satisfaction. It gives you a feel of purpose, a feel of self-worth. But it's all false. It's fake. In the end, when you have no one to abuse, you feel worthless. For the abusive, you letting this person become this master because you don't have to. You don't have to. You feel like if they have everything they want, they'll stop beating up on you verbally, and that's not the case, and you know it. You've been through it enough times to know that even if you make him or her feel like she's in control of everything, she still is going to fucking hurt you emotionally with her mouth. He's still gonna hurt you emotionally with his mouth. That's the only way they feel a sense of self-worth. If you hand it to them on a silver platter, they're still gonna search for more. They're not gonna stop, because it's like an addict on drugs. It's like someone smoking crack or doing heroin. As soon as that high goes down, they need to replenish. So they're addicted to hurting you with their mouth to fulfill their self-esteem and self-worth. It's about how much damage they can do and still be in control, right? Because there's a control issue here, because if they don't verbally abuse, they can't have that feeling of self-worth because they have no self-esteem. This stems back from childhood with them. It stems back to childhood with you. Abuse people, hurt, abuse people, abuse people. But abuse is not your responsibility to fix that. You can't fix that. They got to fix that in themselves. So even though they may seem like they're the master of everything and that they got everything under control, the only thing they got under control is their mouth. Because if you remove yourself from the situation, if you refuse to let yourself be verbally abused by somebody, like not talk to them, then that's going to be a deal with them. Then they have to find somebody else to hurt. And quickly. Because if they don't, then... And some of you abusive, you turn the tables and you start verbally abusing them to the point where your words hurt more than theirs, and then they become the abused. So like the beginning of the relationship, they were the abuser. They were the one that just came at you with shit. And then you like, damn, I've been dealing with this since I was a little kid. I ain't got to deal with this shit no more. I didn't get a relationship and a marriage to be freaking verbally abused. Fuck that. I'm going to verbally abuse you. And y'all start abusing them. And now you're the abuser and they are being abused. Neither one of these ways is a way to fulfill your self-identity, your self-worth, and your self-esteem. And how it affects the relationships with others. Y'all are just freaking... People run away from y'all. Like run. Like they don't even want to be bothered anymore. It's like people that you cannot get in contact with. You cannot talk to. You cannot... Because you abuse them verbally. Nasty. And it's not just, oh, you dumbass, you fuckface, da-da-da-da. It's like... You ain't never going to be shit. That's why you da-da-da-da. I mean, this is stuff that you regurgitate or you say things that were said to you to give you self-worth. And these people, you use this as a form of strength, like to bulldoze and overpower people and bully people. Because you have no self-esteem or self-worth. And if you don't, then you need to figure out why. But you keep doing it so that you don't have to deal with the hurt and the pain of the past. But that's the only way that you're going to have people around you. Your biggest fear is that you're going to end up alone. And I'm going to tell you 100% you will. You will, because people will remove themselves from abusive situations and abusive people. And those that stick around only are sticking around to abuse you in the end. So you is going to get it. Because there's only a certain amount that people can take before they snap. And you don't want somebody to snap and kill you. Because that could happen to some of you. I'm not saying this out of BS. They're talking through me. You use this as a form of strength to take over people, to overpower people, to have your way. It makes you feel good about yourself. I got you. It's such a negative and energy draining way of being. But you gotta hurt them. You gotta hurt them before before they hurt you, right? And if you hurt everybody before they hurt you, you never get hurt. But still, you get hurt because they walk away from you. They run away from you. No hearing, no talking to, just disappear off the planet, gone. And you're like, what the hell? I don't have to put up with that. If you're jealous, if you're envious, you verbally abuse. To demean them and demean their self-worth. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you're not going to do that. Oh, you dumb. You so stupid. And if you don't say stupid out of write it out of the way, you have a connected way of, oh, how are you going to finish school? Oh, thinking about going back to school. How are you going to finish school? You think you're going to get your master's? Really? Verbally abusive. Verbally and very nasty and cunning about it. Y'all thinking about buying a house. Where you getting the money for that? And they start telling you, that loan probably ain't gonna go through. What bank you going to? And that leads into something else that we'll get into later. How the abuse continues through other things. How they call up people and start talking. That's emotional abuse. We'll get to that a little later. Next week. So in the past, you've overpowered people with your mouth. There's a lot of people from the past that just dropped off the face of your planet. That you tried to follow and look for and everything, and they just disappeared because they was like, oh, no. Those people that have self-worth and self-esteem don't stay around abusive people. And abusive people don't like to be around them. And if someone that was lacking self-esteem and self-worth gains it, the abuser's freaking crazy. They go crazy because they don't understand how to freaking handle it. They don't know how to get a grip. And they keep trying the same things over and over again, and they don't work anymore. They go insane because insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and getting the same results. So once they stop getting the results they used to get, the crying, the upset, the head down and all depressed, and they don't get anything anymore. They're dumbfounded, confused, because they don't know what else to do. Well, this always worked. Shoo in. And then that's when they don't want the person around anymore. I want you to go. If I can't abuse you, if I can't verbally abuse you, if I can't say what I want to say to you, you gotta go. And if the person starts verbally abusing you, then they're like, oh, no, you really got to go. How it's affecting on your relationship, right? In the present, right? You feel again like you're the master. Right? You feel like but you got secrets. I don't want these people to know that I don't got no self-esteem at all. Right? But when the verbal abuse don't work anymore, you start to get a little, in your head. They're going to find out. They're going to find out that my daddy beat me. They're going to find out that I had sex with my mama. They're going to find out all this stuff to why I got to shoot off at the mouth. Because like I said, you get this role of insanity where you can't stop doing what you're doing towards people. And they're like, well, what the hell is wrong with you? And everybody's looking at you like you're crazy. And then you're like feeling like, well, you was okay with this before. No, we're not now. But what is wrong with you? Why can't you just stop? because I need you. I need you to feel good about myself. You gotta cry. You gotta get mad. You gotta get upset. You gotta do what you do. I gotta hurt you. I gotta hurt you. So I can feel good. So I can feel good. Y'all do this to the people you love. It don't matter. You love them and you still hurt them anyway. I need to feel good. I gotta feel good. But instead of going in and healing past situations and past issues so that you don't have to do this to people and rebuild the self-worth in yourself, you go out and you start hurting other people. You hurt the people that you love, and they don't want to be around you. And the abusive is the same thing. They search for it other places. So if they're getting yelled at and screamed at home, they're going to work and yelling and screaming at the coworkers, verbally abusing the coworkers. She's stupid. Oh, she don't make no sense. Like, why can't you do this? Like, everybody else can do it. What's the problem with you? What's the matter? It's just a copier. Oh, you can't do that. What's wrong with you that you can't do that? Verbal abuse. You go to somebody come to ask you for help. Oh, it's simple. You can't do that. You need me to show you how to do that? Really? Verbal abuse. And it's all about manipulating people and moving them here and there so they never get it. They never get that in reality, when you go home, you getting yelled at and screamed at and hurt. So you got to have some form of power in order to feel good about you somewhere in your life. So even the ones that are abused verbally still go out and verbally abuse other people. Not wanting people to know that they're getting abused at home. They go out and find people to hurt to make them feel good about themselves. Because when they get behind closed doors, they feel like shit because they is getting verbally tore up. The lesson that can be learned about this is going into yourself. Meaning, shut the hell up. Shut up. If you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing. Heal you. The hermit is about going in oneself, learning oneself, growing in oneself, being oneself, knowing oneself. Knowing that the beatings that I got when I was a child, the sexual abuse, the emotional abuse is what caused me to go around trying to hurt everybody so that I could fulfill my self needs. Learning that, understanding that, growing in oneself. The hermit card is like, shut up to everybody. If you're not saying good morning or good night, keep your mouth closed. Because the abused and the abusive are both abusing people with their mouth to feel good about themselves because they do not want to heal their past issues. Shut up. Because you can't say anything right. And that's not an abusive statement. This is just a statement telling you you can't say anything right. So the best thing is not to say nothing at all until you understand and you go into the levels why you do what you do. And that means that you're going to have to start thinking about the things that really hurt you from the very beginning. You have to do a lot of soul searching and a lot of healing by crying and letting those things go. And understanding that you are not responsible. It's the people that did it to you that were responsible. Holding people accountable for hurting you instead of lashing out at others that didn't do a doggone thing to you but try to love you. You need to hold them people accountable and responsible. Whether dead or alive, they got to be held accountable. And it's not about secrets and being hidden about things. It's about you saying, look, I was abused. Once you have pride in saying I was abused, right? You put all the hurt, you put all of it on them. For them to handle the shame, the everything else. For them to handle. And this is part of the healing. Learning to accept that you didn't have anything to do with what happened to you in the past. It was brought on by family members, abusers in your childhood. Then you need to let them own up to that. You need to get that to them, because the more you say, look, I was abused, I was verbally abused, I was raped by my cousin, I was doing all this other stuff, the more you say that, the better off you feel about you. That's how you regain your self-worth. By giving that shit back to them, because you took up all the guilt and the satisfaction, then you was unable to heal from it, because you got all the shame and the embarrassment, because they made it feel like it was you, like you were the one who was wrong. All of them were wrong. The ones that watched, the ones that knew and didn't say nothing, the ones that did it, all them people were wrong. You were the only one that was right in the situation. But you're the only one that walked away with all the guilt and the hurt and the shame and the pain. So the moment that you go back over that and hold them people accountable and responsible, the moment that you're able to say in public, yeah, I was abused when I was a kid, and understand that that doesn't make you who you are, then you can start talking to people again. Steps that can be taken in to encourage self-healing, right? What I tell you, shut up right now, right? That's the Tower card. Stop it right now. Out of nowhere, just go. Those of you who can't take that verbal abuse in the home anymore, just go. I had to do it. I had to just go. That's why you see me in different hotel rooms. I'm on the land, because here's the thing. I had a nice place, but it had fumes, and I had to leave it. And since then, I've been moving from hotel room to hotel room in my car, wherever I got to be, to keep from going back to my family where there's abuse. I ain't going there. I ain't going back there. Come hell or high water. Right now, it's going to be about 3 inches of snow. 3 inches, 3 feet of snow outside of New York. I'll be hot damn if I'm stepping foot over there. It's about understanding, knowing your self-worth, and knowing who you are, knowing what you want to be. But you gotta make a quick move. Tower card ain't about sitting around waiting and planning and getting it together. Sometimes you just gotta get up and do what you gotta do. Because the abuse will continue, because they have to do the self-assessment. They have to learn about themselves, just like you have to learn about yourself, so you don't become more verbally abusive. You have to end that situation. Because some of you was abused as kids, and then you walking away because you're saying to yourself, my mouth, my God, my mouth. I'm talking like my mother. I'm talking like my aunt. I'm talking like my father. You talk to your kids like that. You just sorry. You ain't never going to be nothing. Verbal abuse. And the only way to stop it is abruptly. You can't slide out of that. You can't ask them to change, because it takes all of this, what I just talked to you, to get to that level. Walk away. I don't know. People put so much fear in walking away from things. This is what they're telling me to say. Look, you got to have your peace of mind. You got to go towards your happiness, right? So why are you going to sit and be hurt all the time? Even if you got to sleep in shelters, at least you have your peace of mind. You're going towards a better life. At least you don't have to be hurt every day by somebody's mouth. So the guiding spiritual principle, right? So this is like, okay, if you want your spirit to heal completely, like if you want this universe, if you want this perfect world card, this thing here, right? You're gonna have to go back to your childhood. Look how she's standing on this shoe. You're gonna have to go back to when you were small and handle that. And dig deep into yourself, right? Because the world card is about completion. It's about everything coming full circle. So if you want this to come to an end, if you want this to stop, right, you're going to have to dig deep. You're going to have to go to the deepest part of you, the smallest part of you, to where it all began. Upheaval. And work from there. It's a lot of emotional work. It's a lot of emotional grief and upheavement of grief and tears and fear and all those things that we'll discuss as further as we go along. I'm Renee Michelle. Thank you for joining me for spiritual awareness. See you later. Bye. Ashe.